Yeah, so when it comes to the energies of October, guys, this month's aspects are extremely complex, yeah, called embracing the dance of light and shadow. And then the subtitle is harvesting the lessons of the past and letting go. Yeah, so here, what is the imagery that I am suggesting here for symbolizing the energies of this month? This is somebody sitting in the middle between, left and right, between, well, in the midst of their own duality. Yeah, and learning to see it rather than, either or, like one extreme or the other extreme, seeing it more in a magnetic sense, in the sense of polarities, just like how we have a positive and a negative charge in everything. Yeah, polarity is softer, and it allows you to sit in the middle, okay, and control where you're going. This is also similar to the image of the seesaw. Yeah, so when you see, these aspects of light and shadow, of masculine and feminine, of good and bad, of self-empowering, self-defeating, when you look at these different streams in you as part of your polarity, and you, due to the power of your higher consciousness, your spiritual identity, your I, are able to juggle that, then you can grow into the true power that comes with that self-knowledge. Yeah, so harvesting the lessons of the past and then letting them go means nothing but, acknowledging them, recognizing where you're from, and yes, you had a hard past, so did your neighbor and, your partner and your colleague. Okay, everybody experiences it this way. And our job is not to dive into it and to use it as a justification or excuse or explanation for things, but rather as information. It's just information. It just helps you to better understand yourself. Just like how information about others or seeing things from other people's perspectives can help you to better understand them. And that's then ultimately what leads to deeper connection. So when we get to some of the challenges in this month, and also the sort of the antidotes and how to actually work with them, you'll see that the desire for deeper connection, this really strong desire for deeper connection, actually points at you. It doesn't point at others, doesn't point at the outside. It points at yourself. Not just in the simple sense of, I need to do more self-love and self-care. Yes, you do, but in the sense of I need to understand myself better and then move on. If I can understand myself better, I can understand others better. And if I can understand others better, I can communicate, I can express myself better. And if I can express myself better, others can connect with me better. One of the main resistances that I came across here during the tune-up was that so many of us are still caught in this sort of unhealed healer pattern, in this sort of sacrificial serving, okay, and seeing ourselves as a victim as a result. And there's this mind twist in our heads that is kind of noble, to sacrifice ourselves. This is part of collective programming. We kind of all have that, especially in the Western world. But the point is that by seeing it as something noble, we're actually missing the point. We're missing the shadow aspect of that. Namely, why our ego came up with this idea that, if I let myself get treated like a doormat, if I let other people treat me badly, okay, that it's something that I get a reward for or something. That's a mind twist, guys, because in actuality, that is actually one of the two things, and they're both shadow aspects. One is hiding your true sentiments, your true feelings, not communicating yourself, leaving others in the dark, okay, and therefore not even giving them a chance, yeah, to even know your needs or your boundaries or what you truly feel. That's a form of deception, manipulation, if you will. And the other, and that's the most prevalent here in this group, is a hidden control mechanism. You don't want to feel guilty, so you always want to give more so that you don't need to be vulnerable, so that you don't need to ask for help. Does that ring a bell with some of you? Yeah, that's what honest self-inventory means, to feel into this. Why am I doing this? Why do I keep getting into these situations where, I become resentful for all the things that I do for others, not getting enough back? Why am I doing this? And then using this sort of as a big old projection, okay, that, oh yeah, the world is so mean and other people are so selfish and da. But in reality, that needs to be investigated. You need to look at why you're still investing in that. Now, why not just say no? Why not just say, hey, no, that doesn't work for me, or what I really want is this. Yeah, so is that what you're avoiding? Are you avoiding to actually ask for things or say out loud what it is that you're feeling or what you're needing? That's a shadow aspect. Prevents connection. So anything that prevents connection, anything that prevents truth, anything that prevents freedom is a shadow aspect. Is a way of darkness working through you. So that's in my words, really what this month triggers in us, and what it comes down to now as far as like giving every reader an overview. I wrote here, as we step into October with a renewed dedication to our authentic true self, the solar eclipse on the new moon initiates an inner clearing. This is right at the beginning, guys. In a couple of days, you will feel that it's very, very clearing, and it's discomforting. Yeah, it will continue the entire month. It will be about looking at these kind of truths that I just pointed out. It's ushering in a profound societal transformation that will unfold over the next 9 months. So not just you personally, but this clearing also occurs on, the collective level. So you'll see, a lot of revelations, a lot of stuff is coming forward now. All right, so, if you think that you're the only one that is going through challenges or discomfort, just read the news for entertainment and see how your personal problems are reflected in the collective. You'll be shocked to see how that is all the same, just on a different level. The energies of this month are infused with deep reflection, shocking revelations, heightened awareness, and the call to take inspired action. Now that's not just for the collective, that's also for you. Yeah, remember, collective energies, looking at the development or the collective energy, the collective weather conditions helps us to recognize where we can get support and where we, if we resist certain things, where we can get in trouble. Yeah, so shocking revelations. You will have shocking revelations as well. Maybe you find out that your partner's been cheating on you, or maybe you find out that your co-workers are deeply jealous and talking behind your backs, or maybe you find out that you yourself have been untrue to somebody else. So this is the kind of energy that you will be facing. Yeah, and the call to take inspired action. What could inspired action be in the month of October? Well, corrections. Like look at it and say, uh-oh, yeah, maybe we should try it this time. Or maybe we should try it this way this time around. Or maybe we should, let go of holding on to trying to do something that others don't even want, or, that is not really conducive for me. That is inspired action, is where it all comes together and you're looking at it for what it is and you take your inner guidance. You ask your inner truth and then you take action. Maybe I have not been able to see this in the right way. Maybe I couldn't understand it before, and now I do. Okay, what's an inspired action? To admit to it, to say, hey, I honestly couldn't see this before. And I'm sorry for all the stuff that may have caused, but now that I can see it, I want to do better. So October brings in a unique interplay of light and shadow. Both. The polarity. Remember, you sitting in between and you watching this within and around you, urging us not only to balance, but to wisely choose the internal and external forces that shape our lives. So basically, in other words, choose wisely which spirit you are serving. And I can tell you from just sort of the common sense point of view that, choosing you and your higher consciousness, that permeates through you via your own higher self, is probably the best course of action. Not your ego, not your false self, not your fantasies. No, that's all falsehood. But your own inner truth. So the most prevalent inner conflicts this month will stem from a strong desire for deeper and more meaningful connections, whether with friends, colleagues, or romantic or business partners. As we grow, our relationships must evolve with us, and that doesn't always happen in our timeline, like according to our pace. So don't be surprised if by mid-month your relationships feel perhaps somewhat stagnant or stale. If you feel like you're wasting your time with certain people, or that they aren't reciprocal as you thought, like I mentioned earlier with the unhealed healer, it's okay to move on without judgment, without guilt. Okay? If you can let go of your judgment, you lose your guilt. It doesn't mean that they're against you. It simply means that their purpose in your life is fulfilled. Let go with love. Learn from the past, but don't lean into it. At the same time, this desire for deeper connection creates space for introspection and more serious spiritual exploration, which is highly significant this month. By the way, I still have the October special, the 60% discount on the energy course that starts next week. I would strongly recommend you guys to consider that, because that is what helps you. It's a step-by-step guide through your inner connection and your intellectual reflection on how to, explore yourself without, plant medicines or, falling into the rabbit hole. Emotional wounding, especially rooted in inner child shadow or karma drama, can make you irritable, vulnerable, and emotional this month. It may lead to projecting these feelings into the present and future. Avoid this, as it may cause repetition of old patterns. The whole point of learning is to discern what is good for you and what isn't, what brings more truth and more freedom, and to take action. If you feel resentful or victimized, it's your responsibility to express yourself more clearly to others. But watch your words. Words can be hurtful if they gush out without considering the other person's perspective. Remember, just because you've gained awareness doesn't mean others will immediately see your new perspective. So before entering uncomfortable conversations, always ground, center, and clear your thoughts. The moment you notice negativity, fear, doubt, or anger taking hold, take a few deep breaths and reset. The first part of the month will feel like a review, a moment to pause and assess what is all ready to be shed as we align more deeply with our true selves. Discipline your mind to embrace change without fear. Keep your desires and needs in check. This period might highlight areas where you've been out of sync or too focused on one extreme. Now is the time to bring things back into balance with mindful decisions and heartful intentions. What can you let go of? And what needs correction or refinement? That's the model of this month. And here a little picture of the yin-yang, the shadow, and the light. Self-love is the resonance for unlocking true inner and outer balance. Without balance, we are just minds or bodies with a fragmented soul, unaware of who we truly are and what we came here for. So collective themes, the dance of light and shadow, as announced, will drive us straight into the confrontation with untruths, making it a challenging month. Collective energetic conditions point to its significant shifts in overall awareness of how the world functions and especially how the power of money works. The world may feel chaotic with polarities becoming more pronounced, but this is the part of greater transformation that we are experiencing. We are being asked to rise above fear and division, find strength and unity, and stand in our own truth without being swayed by external forces. This is where it's always good to know or to investigate the nature of what is working through you. What kind of darkness are you getting pulled into? Watch my videos on the duality of darkness. Especially around the full moon, expect more light to shine into the shadows of collective themes. Censorship, corruption, power struggles, and media wars will become so blatant that many so-called conspiracies will appear more truthful than we'd like to admit. Geopolitical events may shake things up, including stock markets. Guys, watch it. Expect the unexpected, such as severe market crashes, continued attacks. We have more assassination attempts, guys, on our world leaders. Yes, the next 4 months at least, or sudden changes in leadership. Especially, of course, here in the United States, where we have this almost comical election or pre-election theater going on, this is not child's play. This is a big power struggle that is going on there. Our collective task is to find harmony and oneness within dualities. Light and shadow are at play in the world and within us. So as we grow spiritually and individually, we'll find our inner equilibrium, allowing us to bring balance to our relationships, work, and personal lives. By moving away from separation, animosity, and jealousy, we can start building a new world in our own backyards. Keep your space clear of negativity and anxiety, and you will notice a new synergy in your personal life. October is also a great month to meet new people and start or renew business or personal relationships. Find your tribe and step into action together. Toward the end of the month, expect revelations, both personal and global. Secrets may come to light and long-buried truths will surface. While this can be unsettling, it also presents an opportunity to embrace transparency and authenticity. So this is always the beauty when you discover your own shadow aspects. It actually allows you to become more authentic if you Don't run away from your inner dragons. Yeah? If you stand right next to them and say, okay, I see you, bye-bye. The more we align with our inner truth, the more clarity we will find amidst collective uncertainty. Remember, you're not the only one going through deep inner challenges. We are all being drawn into the deeper waters of our past. With growing self-awareness, we will need to step up and become self-accountable. That's just the name of the game, guys. Anything we once externalized will dissolve, giving us an opportunity to heal and integrate our shadows with courage and compassion. Expect themes of truth, power, and emotional intensity to surface, calling on you to confront these aspects of yourself that you've been avoiding. This isn't a time to fear the darkness, but to embrace it as a catalyst for profound healing and inner strength. You see this is another theme that came forward here. You guys' fear of big emotions. All right, this links straight into your inner child, into your unresolved inner child stuff. But the fear of big emotions, you'll be confronted with that. So what is the cosmic army, the cosmic support that comes in for us here? Well, it comes in form of solar and lunar alignments. That's also why I picked this picture here. All right, so October celestial alignments further support this journey of transformation. The new moon annular solar eclipse. Not many of you are going to see that here right at the beginning of October. Offers an opportunity to set clear intentions around how to balance things, how to balance your partnerships, and your self-worth. Eclipse energies always reveal what was hidden. Now use this energy to restore harmony in your connections and refine how you wish to show up in the world. And around the full moon, October 17th, the full moon always illuminates the skies. So that reminds us to ground ourselves and to find stability amidst the shifting energies. The full moons are always wonderful clearing energies. Yeah, they bring things into closure. But collectively, this creates turbulence. Yeah, so the turbulence of this time will teach us to root into the earth and focus on what brings us comfort and security. Yeah, that's where we have to apply all our spiritual routines. Yeah, the grounding, centering, and self-clearing. This full moon is a perfect moment to reflect on our physical health, self-care routines, and overall well-being. Take this seriously, guys. Yeah, your health, your physical well-being can also influence your thoughts and your emotions. Embrace gratitude for the abundance that you've cultivated while releasing any attachments to the spiritual world that no longer support your higher path. So on one hand, we are supposed to physically anchor our spiritual identity, make it real, manifest it, embody it. But on the other hand, we also need to let go of those things that don't actually support our higher path. So what could that be? Well, fame seeking, or being focused on money, or the fears around money and scarcity. Yeah, so we have to find that midpoint where we can trust that our manifestation energies are on, that they're online, that we can handle no matter what comes our way. Practical steps moving through October energies. Also see the commitments, the 7 commitments article. Ground and center. Intense energies will pull us deep into our anxious minds. So grounding practices are essential. Spend the time in nature, meditate, and engage in activities that help you stay rooted in the present moment. Balance your inner and outer world. Notice when you're giving too much energy to external situations, relationships, or work. Bring your attention back to your inner world and cultivate practices that nurture your soul. Embrace transformation. October is not just It's not about resisting change, but flowing with it. Trust that what emerges is aligned with your highest good. Allow yourself to transform, even if the process feels uncomfortable. Yes, October is all about learning through discomfort, recognizing that pain and suffering is a catalyst for your personal growth. Release and renew. This month offers powerful opportunities for release. Whether it's old habits, outdated beliefs, or toxic relationships, now's the time to let go. Trust that by creating space, you are making room for new possibilities. October is a month of profound transformation, where light and shadow dance together to reveal the truths within us. It is a time to shed old layers, find balance amidst change, and embrace the deeper aspects of your soul's journey. So as you navigate these things, remember that every step forward brings you closer to your most authentic self. Trust the process. Lean into the unknown and let your inner light shine brighter than ever before. Yes, and then you already have all the articles that I am publishing this month, how to trust in yourself, the 7 commitments, how to work with the desire for more connection with or without relationships, how to correct things when you discover them, how to become a more active self-healer and make this conscious choice, how to master your thinking, and how to decouple from collective karma. You guys are already familiar with that. All right, so that now concluded the sort of the general view here, so that we can start working with the personal readings. Yes, it is a recommitment. You guys already received this impulse long time ago, but now it's time to, show up, to apply. October will feel like, energetically and emotionally challenging. Just expect it, guys, without negativity. Hear the picture one more time. Always visualize yourself sitting in the middle. Okay, so one of the things that came up during this session, very interesting for me. Those of you who have done the energy course with me are familiar with this depiction of the different planes, the 3 different planes in our physical reality, how we perceive reality. Obviously, we have more layers. We're layers within layers, beings within beings. So I prefer the fourfold human depiction. That's the one that we usually work with. But this one is how we perceive it. And there was something during the tune-up that was brought to my attention that I have to work on with you, and that is this Z plane. Okay, you see the orange one here. This has to do with time. But time, not so much as we perceive it, but time as, the bigger sort of cosmic time, the bigger cosmic plan, and better understanding causation. So in our physical reality, we understand, what is happening right now is a consequence of what was said or done in the past, just 5 minutes ago or 10 years ago or in a child or a past life. The problem with that is that that's not actually accurate. All right, so if you've tuned into the future self modality that I have, you were already able to experience that yourself, how this is an ebb and flow, this is a dance, okay? The past, present, future, they do exist simultaneously. It's hard for our limited minds to imagine that. But what it comes down to is that we need to understand that what we are experiencing today is not necessarily caused by anything that happened in the past. This fixation on past life regression and inner child stuff and all that. Once in your lifetime, it's okay to do that and to open yourself up for, looking at your bigger sort of life's biography. But don't make the mistake that New Age sort of superimposes on people to use that as a cause. I'm telling you right now, whenever you hear yourself thinking or saying, oh, that's because of that. Oh, yeah, my inner child. Oh, my karma, my past life. Oh, yeah, my parents. Oh, my ex. Da, da, da. Those are all externalizations in the age of forming our own consciousness soul, of embodying our own spiritual identity. That doesn't fly anymore. You are self-accountable now. You have to recognize that it is your own higher self who sent you to experience all these things so that what? So that you can do better this time around. It's not caused by it. Now what is coming to you with this awareness is the cause of your past experiences. That is the true nature of retrocausality. And every single time you reframe something from the past, you're changing your present and your future. We will have to talk more about this. I always use the picture, and that comes out of my anthroposophical understanding, how our organs formed, how our body formed. But what sticks with me is that the human eye, our visual eyes, developed because there was light, because there were colors. And that caused the eye to develop because it wanted to observe. It wanted to be observed. When it comes to our own soul, our own spiritual identity, the same retrocausal connection exists. We are forming our eye because we want to witness ourselves, and that is the secret of divine creation that is hidden in you. It's the divine spark that they all talk about. Your higher self, your higher consciousness is self-creating. That's why you grow spiritually the more you pay attention. Your spiritual identity forms because you're paying attention to the spiritual world. Now that's the nature of retrocausality, and that's very important to keep in mind when we do the readings now. Because if you want to understand how to face these inner and outer themes, not just in October, but really for our present times and all the challenges that are ahead, okay, you need to understand that it is in you and what you pay attention to, what you observe, the spirit that you serve, what you let into your mind, what you entertain emotionally, all that you justify, excuse, or try to hide from, that is ultimately going to determine what manifests for you, and not just for you personally, also for the collective. So yes, the inner themes here in October, summarized for all of you, facing a blast from the past. This will be very, very interesting for many of you because you're going to feel very, very connected to your ancestors, to your karmic family, to maybe deceased, passed over um, family members, or people that have, just left your life. They'll come back, and this is part of this reviewing energy. Yeah. Also, perhaps people that you have forgotten about or abandoned, or they may come in your dreams. They may come forward through, seeing the bigger picture now, suddenly understanding their point of view better, and maybe even feeling a certain notion of contrition toward them. If you do, it's the core of the Sacred Self-Healing course. Go make amends. Let them know that you have changed your perspective, and that with that you have a new perception, that you can see it better now. This doesn't mean that you want to get back together with them. It just means that you're basically witnessing your own growth, and when we share that with others, it always becomes more powerful. Yeah, so overcoming your inner dragon, that is the emotionality that you guys are all so afraid of. Me too. All right, so yeah, you're going to have to face it, okay? And overcome it. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to have emotions, guys. It's okay. Yeah. Knowing your inner alignment, that's where the commitments, this, Cindy, what you mentioned, the renewal of your commitment to it yourself, to it your higher self comes in. Yeah, align to your higher self. Now, on the more practical level, calming your nervous system will be important. So if you guys have a tendency to sort of anxiousness or panic attacks and stuff like that, yeah, October is going to trigger that. Okay, so drink lots of chamomile tea, have lots of lavender oil around, go in nature, take a bath, work with water. Water will help you in October. And consciously work on reframing inner judgments, whether it's judgments toward yourself or others. There's no difference when it comes to their etheric reality. Zero difference. So every single time you judge somebody else, it's that old saying, you point the finger at somebody, and guess what? 3 fingers are pointing back at you. That's exactly how it is in the etheric and the spiritual reality. And if you're still at the beginning of your journey, then really work out practices that help you to bring stillness to your mind. Become more serious about learning how to meditate. Maybe use yoga as a way to more consciously tune into your breath. Seek a practitioner, meditation coach like myself. You can go to my SoundCloud. There's, I don't know how many, 100 energy alignment meditations there, all right, that help you to tune into the stillness of your mind. Yeah, practice, like non-judgment, and just help yourself to cut down that monkey mind, that mind chatter that tortures you so much. Because this month it's really gonna get, it's gonna have a field day with you if you don't learn how to master your thinking. There's a beautiful workshop recording on my YouTube channel as well, how to master your thinking. But it needs to be practiced. It's not something that you can watch a 2-hour workshop and then you got it. No, this requires all sorts of mental and spiritual disciplines. Yeah, the 7 commitments, this beautiful article on my website, and also my Mass video has a short version of them. And as I mentioned before, active body healing, but it's good for you. Learn that diets and all these recommendations from the Heart Surgeon General or the CDC or whatever the health organization in your country is called, that they may have their validation, but that they may not apply to you because you, like every person on this planet, is an individual and has individual needs. It is your job to find out what your needs are, be it the mineral composition that you need, the kind of foods that you tolerate, the amount, the kind of exercise that is good for you. These are all things that you need to tune in, you need to find out. By the way, don't be surprised if videos on my YouTube channel disappear, because YouTube is heavily censoring everything that has to do with self-healing. So every time I say you can, go into self-healing and work on manifesting a healthier body without the medication and stuff like that, they are censoring it right now. So yeah, that's that. That's October. They've been doing this for the last year already, but it's getting to the point where it's ridiculous. Okay. Outer themes, well, that's here. Our information media warfare is in full motion. It's comical, honestly. Enjoy the drama, honestly. It's like, I don't even know how people can actually believe a word. It's hard for me to imagine that. However, truth is revealed, but not every, whistleblower and blah, blah, blah. You got to be careful there too, okay? So this is 50-50. Yeah, so 50% of those conspiracy whistleblowers, okay, are complete BS. You need to learn to discern. And then the other 50%, and it's usually backwards from how you think, the stuff that is so out of this world, hard to imagine, that it can't be true, that one I would look at more closely. The stuff that is like cruising around, those bits and pieces that have been sort of, spoon-fed to us with like UFOs and, those kind of things. Nah. Yeah, so just form your own compass there, all right, your inner truth compass. Like I mentioned before, corruption and, like how money has manipulated and shaped our society is coming forward now. It's obvious, and it's been so obvious for so long. But for some reason, it didn't sink in. It's such an interesting phenomenon. How that is with us humans is that, we can hear truth and we can agree with it. But it's somehow there's another level in us where it needs to become aware to us that, no, it's not okay. No matter how you twist or turn it, it's like this common sense level in us. That always comes delayed. Have you noticed that? Yeah, there are so many things that you can watch and you think, oh yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. But no, it's not okay to physically or verbally or emotionally abuse people. It's not okay to force them to take pills or whatever. No, it's not okay to, force feed thoughts or certain agendas into people's heads. No, I don't even want to go any further with that because you already are aware. So we're still living in this big shift energy, so the big earthquake still there, and war of all against all, predicted 100 years ago, is in full preparation mode. When we stand in truth, we form a crown. This is the halo. This is our etheric field forms. It consolidates. That's the 12-pointed star. Yeah, that's the connection with the cosmic forces. When we act from compassion, from our sacred heart, we are supported by the solar forces. That's the cloak, or the coat made from sunlight. That's the solar logos, the Christ consciousness. That's the sacred heart. And when we do what is right, which is basically the code for freedom, for integrity, for doing things just because they were right. They feel right in our hearts. We're we're conjoining with the moon forces. We're standing on the crescent moon. If we can follow, and this is how I said this to the kids, if we can follow that as guideline, basically, we don't need to be afraid of any dragons. So the story had a big, scary dragon, obviously. And that is how we win. That is how we overcome the dragon. Standing in truth, acting out of kindness, and doing what is right. So that's basically the lesson of October dumbed down to a first grade level. And I wanted to share that picture with you real quick. Main challenges of October that will all play out in our heads, okay, and also in us getting stuck in our heads. So there's obviously the recommendation to, do all these mindfulness techniques and yoga and so forth that you already know, and really stay in non-judgment. The opportunity, the healing opportunity here is that we can finally release outdated coping and with it also integrate our shadows, because most of our shadows comes from our unresolved inner child aspects, from our unmet needs and negative feelings, from a long time ago, okay, that we no longer really investigate because we have been telling ourselves over and over that this is the reason why. So that we need to catch that. That's a mental thing. The main growth, therefore, will be in overcoming the fear of emotions, especially negative emotions. So we got to understand the purpose and the nature of emotions, and that there's nothing bad about them. That it is the expression of our emotions that we need to pay attention to, not the fact that we're having emotions. Nobody likes to feel vulnerable, but it can be very, very strong, to express, for example, that you're feeling vulnerable at a given time. The spiritual challenge, as I'm breaking this down here for you, is to learn to consciously and actively choose and trust in truth. Yeah. So that's one of those chicken or the egg things, because we want to be able to trust in truth. Everybody wants to, but not everybody's choosing it. So this trust can never really form in us. Collective vibrations in October very much you're on the level of desire, very obsessive almost and addictive. Yeah, so pay attention to all the things that you feel are coming in that way. They're leading you away from actually experiencing joy. So desire is not the same as joy, guys. So we have this desire versus joy, the lower expression versus the higher expression that we need to explore. Physically, keep stretching. Now, I already recommended this in October. Pay attention. Maybe it's the right time for you now to do something about your addictions and obsessions. Not just substances, but also, like addictive coping, for example. Yeah, OCD. Yeah, control mechanism, the hidden control mechanisms. Those are all part of our addictions, as most of you who know my Sacred Self-Healing course already learned. The ego in and of itself is an addiction and energetically looks the same way. Your skin. So your skin, anything that you do not release through active self-healing, expressing and working with it, will try to find a way through your skin. So I am not surprised to hear stories of people with sudden rashes or, issues around your skin. That's a seventh chakra issue. Resort to my chakra charts. There's a very, very detailed list of, which body parts are associated with your chakras and what to do, what to work on. Anxiousness is, something that for those of you who have a tendency to have, sort of incessant, fear thoughts, in combination with your nervous system going a little bit out of whack. Okay. Yeah. Like high blood pressure and stuff, as a symptom of a panic attack might actually be something that you experience. Okay. So don't panic. All right. So those are all part of the collective weather conditions in October and November, as a matter of fact. So we had this in 2020 as well, where there was a sort of a collective fear that was getting a foothold in the collective etheric field. This, you'll feel that. So if you have a tendency to panic attacks and anxiety, then prevent this through, good breathing techniques. Sign up for a yoga class, for a meditation class. Use our free online meditations here in Skype. Anything that can help you to self-regulate. Other communicational issues can, and this is, like still physical, because you will feel it in the interplay between your desires and your heart, and sort of that lower and higher expression. Try to express that better, with others, what you truly need, what you truly want. That will help you to find a higher expression. And again, here, similarly with the skin, what does not get released consciously has to go somewhere. And our kidney, our renal system, is a very, very complex organ in the totality of our human organism, that decides, what you absorb and what you don't absorb. And if you absorb too much, because you choose to, instead of expressing it or releasing it, then it can come to kidney issues. Yeah, those are often rooted in first and second chakra, distortions, imbalances. Yeah, so maybe find someone who does a chakra clearing. You can also do this with me. The energy course actually teaches you how to do this systematically. Energetic triggers and resonances in October. Yeah, so stagnation is one that's on the very physical level. Some of that is not of your own doing. It's actually through the toxins that you have allowed in, or that you unknowingly have allowed in. This can also be toxic thoughts, toxic emotions. They will put your growth to a halt, and it will feel painful. Yeah, so that's something that triggers you into wanting to do something about it. So always look at painful things, discomfort, as a catalyst for learning and growing. Very strong this month is the desire to connect, the desire to belong. Actually, here, sort of on the level of grief, because most of you will feel sort of a sadness with not belonging or not connecting. Okay, so you have to kind of overcome that, because the only one that can change that is you. All right. On the mental level here, this is these disciplines of truth and stillness and mind and non-judgment. Those are all mental disciplines. You have to just practice this over and over again. Resilience is the key. That is what helps you persevere, because you are the one that needs to be in charge of your thinking. And if your thinking thinks you got a problem. So understand that you will find yourself in situations more often than not where you're not in control of your thinking, especially, in regard to the negative inner self-talk and the anxious thinking. Okay, and don't judge yourself for it. Okay, practice. Yeah, practice with everything that that can help you to calm your mind down. Go out in nature, listen to beautiful music, look at beautiful paintings, go visit beautiful buildings, architecture, churches, whatever it is that works for you. Yeah, on a spiritual level, self-knowledge. So October is a fantastic month for honest self-reflection, for introspection, and for gaining phenomenal insights about yourself. It's such a cool month. It brings it in with discomfort, yes. I agree. And it's not going to be a nice ride. Fine. Yeah, again, see discomfort as the catalyst that is needed to grow. Okay? Because our ego avoids pain and seeks pleasure. So it's not going to lead you to growth. Your ego is not interested in growth. Okay? So embrace the introspection that is coming in and work with your desire for a connection. If you don't, it's going to, you see this big red arrow that was already there last month, but it was in the background. Now it's front and center. If you don't work with it, you're going to feel betrayed, you're going to feel abandoned, or kicked out of the tribe, and it's going to throw you into the dark night of the soul. Again, just another increment, another intensity level of this previously mentioned catalyst, okay? Yes, the dark night of the soul is one of the most healing, well, catharsis experiences that you can have. Anyone who's gone through it knows what happens when you walk, when you come out of it. There's such a beautiful clarity. That said, doesn't mean that you always have to go through incredible torture and self-torture and pain in order to arrive at a higher insights. It just means that you have to embrace it. Work with the desire for connection. Do what connects you. Find out what it is. Explore it if you don't know what it is that can connect you, be it with God or with your partner or with your community. Step into spirited action. Yeah, it doesn't always have to succeed right away, but it helps you to understand yourself better. Trust in yourself, self-belief forms through that. Okay? So it's really, really important that you recognize that, yes, addictions are all there for a reason, but, you know, they are sort of misaligned or maladapted coping. Okay? So they're not actually going to help you heal anything. They will just help you to get through it, you know, one more time, but it's not going to change anything. So recognize that, you know, trust in yourself forms through believing that you can do it, and you have to prove that to yourself. In this month, it comes to you as really facing your inner darkness, facing your inner dragon, working with your moodiness and your emotions instead of trying to push them away. With the physical chart here, I just showed you what can happen if you do that. Okay, allow yourself to have emotions, guys. Yeah, it's not in the fact that you have them, it's the way you express them that you need to work on. And part of that is that we often dismiss self-care, myself included. So take that as a sort of general tip here for October, to move into higher levels of self-care, but not like, you know, out of vanity or things like that, but out of like what really feels good for you, what is self-sustaining, what is nurturing, okay? Yeah, even if it means that you have to take a break or that you're going to be late with the project or whatever. Your project will not succeed if you burn out in the meantime, okay? Correction energy is extremely important for October. So everything is about reviewing, refining, correcting, and recognizing that this ability that we have as humans to self-correct, yet to see our own mistakes or errors or whatever, and to take action is huge. That's a huge power. Yeah, and you might not understand how that's related, but this is linked to divine creation. That is how basically the universe invented itself. All right? So don't run away. when you see that your mind is limited or you recognize that you made a mistake or whatever, step forward and say, oh yeah, okay, that didn't go well, didn't do that well. And let's do better. Yeah. And allow your shadow to be there. There's a reason why it's there. It's linked to these unresolved inner child aspects that I mentioned earlier. And in order for you to kind of form something like a navigation map through your own stuff, you just got to understand that they're there, your shadow aspects. You don't have to like atone in ways that you beat yourself up or punish yourself. This is something that came in for a lot of you guys. The self-punishment, guys, stop that. Yeah, that is inner darkness right there. It's just a different version of inner darkness. So use this month for introspection, okay, and allow it to, help you grow. Tip here for October to move into higher levels of self-care, but not like, out of vanity or things like that, but out of like what really feels good for you, what is self-sustaining, what is nurturing, okay? Yeah, even if it means that you have to take a break or that you're going to be late with the project or whatever. Your project will not succeed if you burn out in the meantime, okay? Correction energy is extremely important for October, so everything is about reviewing, refining, correcting, and recognizing that this ability that we have as humans to self-correct, yet to see our own mistakes or errors or whatever, and to take action is huge. That's a huge power. Yeah, and you might not understand how that's related, but this is linked to divine creation. That is how basically the universe invented itself. All right? So don't run away when you see that your mind is limited or you recognize that you made a mistake or whatever. Step forward and say, oh yeah, okay, that didn't go well, didn't do that well. And let's do better. Yeah? And allow your shadow to be there. There's a reason why it's there. It's linked to these unresolved inner child aspects that I mentioned earlier. And in order for you to kind of form something like a navigation map through your own stuff, you just got to understand that they're there, your shadow aspects. You don't have to like atone in ways that you beat yourself up or punish yourself. This is something that came in for a lot of you guys. The self-punishment, guys, stop that. Yeah, that is inner darkness right there. It's just a different version of inner darkness. So use this month for introspection, okay, and allow it to, help you grow. Here's just a placeholder for, some important events that I want to point your attention to. But I can already tell you that obviously the new moon solar eclipse here right at the beginning of October, on October 2nd, brings in a lot of karmic revisiting, that's why I call it the blast from the past. And it will show you these karmic structures in a new light. So it's all about learning how to self-heal, to understand that, just because it's there doesn't mean that it's predetermined. It is there because your higher self gave it to you as a gift, okay, to find the higher expression. Yeah, it's an invitation. So this is continued with a lot of like reality checks and sort of real, sort of moody, rocky kind of impulses that are coming in, especially playing out in your relationships. Yeah, so be careful with how you express yourself here throughout the month of October, because there's a lot of ups and downs. last month in September was back and forth. This one is up and down several times a day, and you sort of being caught in your own duality, between your desire but also your higher sort of choices, your duty, but also you need to connect more. Okay, you can already feel this. There's a real strong trigger for all your inner conflicts. So you have to kind of assume that is part of the deal. You're not the only one experiencing this. So understand your wounds, work with them. This is something that can be very beneficial for you in the second week of October. It grows through learning from the past. And yes, it came with discomfort. Accept that. It's not a bad thing. And right around the 12th of October, things are going to shift a little bit. And it's up a notch. Now you need to step into action. You need to apply it. Okay? You can't just, sort of go through this in your head. Yeah, this is the big temptation of October, that we just sort of let things sort of stay in our head. It needs to be applied. And then we have some real, like, sort of outer collective stuff come up here, starting around, the 14th, I would say, till the 22nd. So that's like the third week is a real rocky week. That's a really rough week, because it will make you question yourself. It will make you become emotional. You will experience yourself in ways that you don't like about yourself. You'll try to cover it up. You'll try to cope it away with your addictions and your obsessions, and you're just going to ride yourself deeper into the hole that way. So it's very, very important to stay positive here, to understand that this isn't just you, that this is a challenge that you need to take, that you have the power to overcome this. All right, and if you do, you will find, like some beautiful Easter eggs in that challenging outer time, yeah, where sort of the world falls into chaos. You'll suddenly discover the secrets of divine creation in you. Yeah, so the full moon time, October 17th, obviously all full moon times are filled with clearing and tensions and so forth, and what happens there on the outside is crazy, but that doesn't mean that it has to be that way on the inside. Don't get involved in fights with people, yeah, and there will be some reasons, there will be good reasons why you think you should be, step into the rink with some people, but don't, okay, yeah, pull in, go into introspection, remember the true nature of who you are and what actually connects you with those powers in you. For most of you, it's creativity. For most of you, it's something that has to do with creation. If you are a male, start a weekend project, build a shed, or, chop some wood, or build something. And if you're female, like, clean out your closet, refine something, change the decor, bake a cake, tune back into, the beauty of your own creativity. Those things will allow you to connect with yourself better again. Then to the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, well, again, outer chaos, lots of unrest, lots of people with anxious responses to this, also sort of in leadership and so forth. There's so much truth that is being revealed in October that that nobody can turn away from anymore. Okay, I mean, it's a mystery to me how long it's been taking, but it's just really like a shockwave, and so no matter what you believed before or not, this can really shake us to the core, because if we are confronted with realities that have always been there, And we realize, dang, yeah, that has always been there. But experience ourselves not really being able to see it or haven't been able to see the truth of it, that is a little bit shocking for us, especially when it comes to some of the material stuff of our life, like the financial markets and so forth. I already mentioned that. So yeah, so that one is not an easy ride here, the third week of October, but there's some really nice energies coming in too with the last week of October, after the 22nd, after the 23rd. So the 23rd is still pretty, it's the outer rim of it. So then too with the last week of October, we'll have a much clearer picture of, what is actually helping us to move forward. And many of you will discover that it comes through connecting with others, so synergy with others. They're collaborating, forming communities, doing things together, stepping into action together. Yeah, so that is something that will be supported. You'll have a beautiful connection with your true self. When you do this, you'll feel it. There's an elation that takes place when you do things with people together, and it will inspire you. You will have new ideas, big ideas, but they still need to be grounded. All this will still take, about 9 months, yeah, like the gestation period of the human, right, to into full manifestation. So just be aware that October is challenging, and that it is through the challenges that you grow, that you are being guided to your higher expression. Here my energy calendar, not yet color-coded yet. You'll find that on my website here pretty soon. But for those of you in the Energy Training Club, already the preview when we have sessions, when we have our marathons, when we have our astral work, our etheric work, and our course work, so you can mark your calendars. Important for you guys to notice, there is an advanced energy coding and energy healer training that starts on October 16th. It's a 10-week process with case studies and discussions. This is directed toward energy healers and practitioners that work with clients. So this is an advanced energy coding course. Yeah, I only do this like every 5 years or so. So please, if this speaks to you, sign yourself up. We also, of course, have the ongoing Energy Training Club if you want to just stay in the rhythm of that spiritual routine, and the Grace Soul Self initiation that we do every Saturday. Yeah, so if that is something that interests you, please contact me at Jona@transcodes.com or go to my website. Push the button that says upcoming events and you will find them all. Yeah, so have a great healing experience and growing experience for the month of October. I will see you guys all again latest at our free Connect with Your True Self energy session and live talk. When is that? That is on the 20th of October at 9 a.m. If you want to have readings and like the energetic analysis for yourself for the following months, sign up for the energetic tune-up on the 27th of October. Thank you, everybody, and I hope to talk or see you soon. Choosing truth. Due to the power of the alignment in my heart and the knowing of divinity radiating through me as a true self, I give thanks for being alive, for having the awareness and ability to witness my own existence, and for recognizing divinity in all. courage means to choose truth. Truth requires freedom, freedom of thought through stillness. Without mastering my own thinking, I cannot explore my world freely. But by letting go of control and becoming willing to accept myself as is, I am gaining the power to choose. Therefore, I choose to be honest with myself. I choose to feel in the stillness of my mind. And with it, I choose to see all challenges as opportunities to detach from the illusion of power. Where I needed approval and reassurance through others, I now consciously choose to evolve through accepting truth as the manifestation of divine creation within, through, and around me. My only goal is to fulfill the one promise to myself, the divine and all creation, to become the highest expression of I. For this, I let go of identifying with what makes me insecure and anxious. I want to overcome the need to project what I cannot love about myself or others, and what I judge in me and others, so that I no longer feel the need to force my ego's version of truth onto others. I can see now that whenever I try to control myself, others, or circumstances, I am weakening truth, and with it, my and others' integrity. I understand that every time I compromise truth, I create karma. Through feeling grace in the imperfection of my own existence, however, and the willingness to let go of wanting to be someone I am not, I can allow myself to expand and grow into the higher expression of my true self, and thus fulfilling my promise through allowing truth to quicken me. I choose challenge as the pathway to truth, to encourage, empower, inspire, invigorate, and excite myself and others. When I feel anxious, frustrated, or tempted, I remind myself that true power resides in the divine source of creation within me, which is beyond my doing or thinking. Allowing the courage to face what I cannot control is the way of learning to overcome the suffering and the needing of something from the outside to appreciate the gift of existence itself. But I am not my thoughts. I am not my emotions. I am not my suffering, and I do not lack anything. There is nothing I need from others to be myself. Through recognizing the principle of creation in me, I learn to trust in the higher power to become what I choose to embody. I am merely an ego self on its journey to unfolding its highest potential, and with it the promise to become the best that I can be. But through expressing gratitude for all experiences, I am aligning myself to the higher power that guides me on my journey, especially when my ego cannot see truth. But in my heart, I can feel truth. And with this knowing, I no longer need the illusion of being more than I am. Nothing and nobody can substitute or take away my power of being me. I realize now that feeling not enough is a self-degrading darkness, and that it is untrue. But due to my sincere desire to align to higher power, I can give up identifying with not feeling enough or worthy of love. By feeling the highest expression of that which I am aligned to, I fulfill my karmic task and all that I came here for. This gives me the needed peace to let go of suffering. acknowledging the darkness I have created, I can fully embrace the divine nature of my being and let go of trying to elevate my ego over divine truth. And by understanding that divine consciousness is with me at all times, I become able to witness my ego's fear as a temporary illusion of my unfree mind. It teaches me to find the courage to face all consequences as a reflection of what I am holding in my mind. So therefore, surrendering that which I cannot control to the source of all life in me calms, strengthens, and encourages me as it honors and empowers the highest expression of that I am. I herewith consciously choose to bring stillness to my mind and to refrain from judging that which I cannot know. And thus reclaim the power to love myself through following truth and freedom where it guides me. My goal is higher than fear or illusion. I already am that I am. Out of my love for the divine, I let go of all that I think I need to control or judge, as it is holding me back from manifesting and enjoying the highest expressions of my true self. I herewith absolve myself from wronging myself and others, and all violations of truth and integrity, including the perceptions of powerlessness and suffering experienced or caused in any dimension or time. From here on, I devote myself to the appreciation of experiencing my divine nature, as it provides me with all learning and healing I need to become the truest I can be and beyond. Thank you.